I spent $26K on a family trip, then got replaced by my brother's fiancée. After years of saving and dreaming, I finally pulled the trigger on something big, a $26,000 family vacation to Dubai. I wanted to celebrate my recent promotion, thank my parents for their support, and treat everyone to an experience we'd never forget. Luxury hotels, desert tours, private yacht day. It was all planned and fully paid for by me. It was supposed to be our trip. Me, my parents, my brother, and his fiancée, but only 4 spots were booked in the itinerary. Since I was footing the bill, I thought it was clear I'd be one of them. I was wrong. 2 weeks before we were set to fly out, my dad called. His tone was calm, almost casual, as he said, "We've been thinking. It might make more sense if you let my brother's fiancée go in your place. She's part of the family now." Wait, what? At first, I thought it was a joke. But he was serious. "You've been there before," he added. "She never has." I was stunned, hurt, furious. I reminded him that I paid for everything, that I spent months organizing this trip down to the tiniest details, that this wasn't about who'd been to Dubai. It was a gift to the people I love. His response? "Don't make this about money." I didn't fight. I didn't scream. I just quietly canceled my flight and let them go. I stayed home while my own family enjoyed the trip. I'd paid for posting Instagram stories and tagging me like I was there. That trip cost me $26,000. But what I really lost was the illusion that my generosity would ever be valued. And I've learned my lesson. Never fund a vacation where you can be voted off the guest list. When they got back from Dubai, they acted like nothing had happened. My mom brought me a souvenir scarf from the airport gift shop, as if that made up for being kicked off the trip I had planned and paid for. My brother texted me, "Thanks again for making it all happen." The fiancée had the time of her life. No apology. No acknowledgement of how wrong it was. Just a casual thank you, like I was some travel agent or invisible sponsor. I didn't respond. For weeks after, I kept replaying the decision in my head. How easily they replaced me. How my own father, who I thought would be the last person to betray me, could so effortlessly push me aside. Not for something urgent or unavoidable, but for optics, for family unity, as he later tried to explain. Apparently, making sure my brother's fiancée felt included was more important than the person who made the entire trip possible. It changed something in me. I started pulling back. I skipped family dinners. I muted the group chat. I didn't attend my brother's engagement party. When my parents noticed and confronted me, I calmly said, "If I can be removed from a trip I paid for, I can remove myself from a few family events too." They didn't know what to say. The crazy part is I never wanted gratitude. I wasn't keeping score. I just wanted to create something beautiful for the people I loved. But what I got was a reminder that even the most generous gesture can be twisted, undervalued, or taken for granted. Now, when people ask why I don't do big things for my family anymore, I just say I've retired from being the family sponsor. I still travel. I still plan trips. I still enjoy giving, but to people who respect me enough not to uninvite me from my own generosity. Because here's the truth. Love without boundaries isn't generosity, it's a setup. Months passed. My family tried to pretend everything was normal, but the dynamic had shifted. Deep down, they knew they crossed a line. You could hear it in the way they tread lightly around me now, overly polite. Overly careful, like they knew I could disappear at any moment. My brother didn't notice. Or didn't care. He was too busy basking in engagement, photo shoots and wedding planning with a woman who'd taken my spot without even reaching out to me. Not even a, "Hey, I'm sorry about what happened." Nothing. Just tagged photos and smiling captions like, "Couldn't have asked for a better trip." She knew and stayed silent. That said more than words ever could. I tried to talk to my dad once. Not to argue, but just to understand why. His answer? "You're stronger. You can handle being left out." She couldn't. That hurt more than anything. Not just because he admitted what he did, but because he justified it by treating my emotional resilience like a reason to sideline me. So I stopped showing up. I stopped offering help, stopped checking in, stopped bending over backwards to be the good one, the responsible one, the one who always stepped up. And guess what? No one picked up the slack. No one booked the next family trip. No one handled the logistics or covered the costs. Suddenly, the family realized all those effortless, magical gatherings, they only existed because of me. I wasn't trying to punish them. I was just Done. It's been over a year now. My brother is married. I didn't attend the wedding. Not out of spite, but out of self-respect. When people asked, "Are you really not going?" I replied, "I wasn't invited to the last big family event. I paid for, why would I show up to one I didn't?" My absence said everything. Since then, I've built stronger boundaries and, honestly, better relationships elsewhere. I've traveled with friends who appreciate the effort I put in. I've learned to spend money where I feel celebrated, not just tolerated. I no longer try to earn love through grand gestures. I still love my family, but I love myself more now. And if I've learned anything, it's this. Being generous is beautiful, but only when it's mutual. The moment your giving becomes expected, manipulated, or disposable, it's no longer generosity. It's exploitation in disguise. So now I ask myself one question before giving anything. Money, time, energy. Would they do the same for me? If the answer is no, I don't. The real closure didn't come with a confrontation or an apology. It came in the quiet realization that I don't need to prove my worth through sacrifice anymore. For most of my life, I thought love meant doing everything for others. Paying, planning, fixing, showing up no matter what. I thought that was strength. But real strength is knowing when to stop pouring into people who never fill you back up. I'm no longer bitter, just clear. I've forgiven them, not because they asked, but because I refuse to carry their guilt on my back any longer. Forgiveness, I've learned, is less about them and more about reclaiming my peace. And now, I still travel. I still celebrate. I still give, but with intention, not obligation. The next time I plan a trip, it won't be for people who see me as a wallet or a backup plan. It'll be with those who see me as I am. Someone who deserves a seat, not a sacrifice. Because in the end, the most expensive thing I ever paid for wasn't the $26,000 trip. It was the realization that sometimes you have to lose your place in someone else's story to finally start writing your own.